Hey, it's the Brian and Kendra show.
Yes, it is.
Okay, like we were just talking. We didn't even give Nathan time to hit
We didn't, really.
record.
Okay, go.
But you said something, and I'm like, I want to talk about that.
Let's do it.
And so we are. So, hey, guys, welcome to the Brian and Kendra show. I'm Kendra Brown, Advanced Real Estate Advisors.
I'm Brian Cook, Advanced Real Estate Advisors, and we're at a new location still. We have not moved again.
Thank you for that, because I haven't fully unpacked yet.
Keep trying. I keep throwing stuff away. Like, do we need this? Do we need this? What do we do with this? Found a whole box of bubbles. If you have kids and you want some bubbles,
Come see me.
come see Kendra. She's got a whole box of them.
I love giving out bubbles. Man,
So
I
much
love
fun.
it. It is so much fun. Okay, so first, I don't know why I have to pause when I say Advanced Real Estate Advisors, but something gets
We've
stuck
changed our name
in.
3 times in the last 3 years.
I don't think that's it. But there's something that causes a pause, and I don't know what it is, and I apologize for that, boss. It's a great name, and it is who we are. So here's what I want to talk about. Okay, so you've been shopping in Kansas. We've talked about this a million times over the last few years. As your girls have grown up and gone to college or begun careers in different communities, you have been helping them to seek out real estate. And there's 2 things that I want to talk about here. One, you use another real estate professional anywhere you go.
Yes.
So when you looked in Stillwater, you used a Stillwater guy.
Yep.
When you're looking in Wichita, you use a Wichita person. And you've got a couple up there. One of the agents that used to be in Woodward, Tamara Provine's great agent.
I love her
Use
new name.
You what?
I love her new name.
Own Real Estate.
It's great.
It is fantastic.
Yep.
But she's an incredible agent. So use her anytime that you're able to. This time your daughter had established a relationship with an agent.
Yep.
And so you felt like you had to respect that. So you actually were working with a different agent this time. So I say that just to remind you, if you've got an agent you click with, use that agent.
Yeah.
It's super important. You click with Tamara, you'll use Tamara for you. Ashlyn clicks with agent whatever.
Yeah.
Secret Agent Man.
Secret Agent
I don't know
Man.
why I said that. Anyway, I don't know his name with Billy Bob. And
Yeah.
so that's who she's going to use. That's good. And that's how things work. That's how we do it here in Woodward. This is exactly why we want to go here, because then sometimes you establish a buyer-agent relationship. Woodward, Oklahoma is different in how we do real estate. We just are. Like, we're still more of the handshake. Stills, I can't even say
Seals
it.
the deal.
Handshake, seals the deal. Thanks. Couldn't come out with the words right. That's not 100% accurate. I mean, we do all of our
Yes.
paperwork, but we still have so much good faith in one another, and we still view buyers and sellers, other agents with goodwill. I don't think that that's everywhere. And then, of course, we've had some major things changing with NAR and some lawsuits that have been happening about commissions and stuff like that. And I'm not going to dive into that very deeply because I really don't have my brain wrapped around all of it yet. But this weekend, when you got your contract, in your contract was a
Buyer-broker agreement
buyer-broker
for
agreement.
12 months.
We don't really use those yet. I think we're going to have to.
Yep.
But we don't use them. So when you're signing your paperwork and you get to the buyer-broker agreement, I'm assuming from your strong reaction, it said you have to pay.
Yeah, I have to pay no matter what. If I buy a house from a for sale by owner, if I use him, if I use somebody else, if I buy anything, and this said anything within Wichita, within so many miles between these price ranges. So it was narrowed down a little bit.
It's not if you buy in Woodward.
If I buy in Woodward, but here's the deal. It goes back to I have an agent that I like in Wichita, and my daughter has an agent she likes in Wichita.
Right.
If
He
I'm
kind of
buying,
just bound you up.
if I buy stuff from Tamara, commercial, or I found a package of 10 rent houses and some duplex stuff that I thought, hey, that's kind of
Man.
cool. It kind of pays out real well. I thought, I messaged Tamara. I'm not going to message this guy because he's not my guy. He's my daughter's guy. So, so it did. It really messed me up. And I just immediately just called him like, hey, what is going on? Like, and he's like, oh, Oklahoma State requires it in Kansas. We are required in Kansas to have buyer-broker agreements. And I said, well, I'm not comfortable signing it, so I guess we'll just put this deal to bed. He's like, let me just change it to where it only covers this transaction. So he limited it to this transaction, this house for the next 45 days.
Which was smart for him.
Right.
Now, had he begun that from the beginning, from the first time that he met you, if he'd have sent it to you, and maybe you could have capped it with a time frame. I will honor this for any property that I look at within
Any
the
house
next
I buy
60
for
days.
Ashlyn.
Right. That would have been totally agreeable to you. Okay, but here's the part that I worry about. You're not a typical buyer,
Huh, no?
are you?
No.
You're not. If it was me and I'm getting ready to sign and I think I have all my ducks in a row with what all my costs are going to be, and then I see an additional fee, it really might halt my transaction. How are buyers going to do that?
Well, luckily, the agent was offered a fair commission rate from the seller. So there's not a fee for me.
Wonderful.
So I don't pay anything extra. It's covered by the seller. But if the seller offered less commission or, a different style, then I have to pay the difference up to a certain dollar amount.
Okay. So something to be aware of. And
Yes.
I do see this changing even for us over the course of time. It's going to happen. I want our buyers to know that it hurts me as much as it hurts them. Like, it makes me sad that we have to add that much more into it. Like, I don't love change. We all know this. Everybody makes fun of me. Oh, Kendra hates change. It just sets her into it does set me into something. But this kind of a change, like, I know that this will be an adjustment. It will be an adjustment for us as well as for our buyers and sellers. And so we're all going to work through this together.
Yep, it's going to change the negotiations.
Yes.
It's going to change it all. So
it will. So again, have goodwill. Be honest, be ethical.
Yep.
It's going to work out. Okay. What are we really going to talk about?
Scams.
How to identify homeowner scams.
Man, they're so creative.
It was brought to my attention this weekend that I'm a little bit naive about things.
Really?
Yeah, the lady at the restaurant even was like, honey, I don't really think that people go around looking in our car windows wanting to break in and get my little Walmart purse. I think that they know it's a Walmart purse. I really do, but I guess that's not accurate. That some people just...
I mean, I don't know anybody that would just leave their keys in their truck or car in the parking lot at Wichita at Target. I don't know anybody that would do that. That'd be crazy.
Or, I mean, Enid, you do it in Enid too.
Yep.
You do it everywhere.
He was showing us houses, and I just left my truck running.
Everywhere.
He's like, yeah. What?
From now on, when I get the grief about the way I leave my stuff laying around in the car, I'm going to go, could be worse. I could be Brian. I could have left it running with the keys in the middle of the intersection for anybody that wanted to take it.
Right. Yeah, it's all there.
All right. So because of the way that my brain works and how I think that people are all of goodwill, I could not comprehend. I kept hearing about people having their homes taken from them. I don't know how else to say that, because of a scam. And I thought, well, how in the world do you get scammed out of your own home? Like, I couldn't process it. So found some information. And man, this is good stuff. This is actually from a newsletter that we get from Jennifer Kimsey out of Weatherford, I think. Man, she has some really great information. And I thought, I'm going to use that. This is good stuff. So first things first, a loan modification scam. I wonder how many people were hit with loan modification scams during the COVID time.
We were talking with a lady
Friday. I did the CMA, and I'm supposed to do an estimated net sheet today. This is a reminder to me to do my work.
And she was like, was this the one that they bugged me and bugged me and bugged me and bugged me? And finally said, fine, I guess if you're going to save me $200 a month or $300, $400 a month, I guess I'll do it.
It does not sound like that one was a scam.
No, it was not.
But you can see how
it happened way fast.
It certainly happened, especially when she said they were so high pressure. They were calling all the time, do it. And it did end up being awesome for her. I can see how that would wear somebody down to get involved with something that they didn't really mean to get involved in. So a loan modification scam.
That was a refinance.
It was. So here's the trick.
This is a little bit different.
If you're getting phone calls saying, we want you to do this. This is going to be great for you. It's going to be better for you. You need to refinance with us. Let's just modify your loan. Then you can have a lower payment, yada, 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 yada. But don't call your mortgage company. When they say, only call this number, don't call. So my mortgage is with Guild Mortgage. So if I get the call and it says, no, you're only going to deal with me at saveyoummoneybank.com, then that's a red flag.
Yep.
I always need to go back to Guild Mortgage and say, is this you? Is this real? That little number on your statement, you need to call that number.
Yep.
Y'all, I hate calling those numbers. I hate that. I hate it. That's how you know if it's real or not.
Right.
Is you call the source.
Yeah.
Right.
And then, or I mean, you can call us. We don't mind doing a little bit of research for you. Like, call us, send us the information. I'll make some phone calls, verify that it's real.
So it sounds like this particular scam.
It's for somebody that's in a bind.
Well, I think this one is actually not for in a bind. I think this is one where they say, we can save you money if we modify your loan. And then they take this fee from you. And then
there it
they,
is.
oh, dang it, we couldn't make it work.
So we
But
just
they
kept-
keep your fee.
Yeah.
Wow. So this one, you
Wow.
may not even lose your home. You just lose some money.
Money. Yep.
But money is money. Don't lose it. So one of the ways to know for sure is to call your specific mortgage company.
And most people
And
don't
just make
charge
sure.
up front
Right. That's
on
usually
loan
paid
stuff.
at closing.
Yeah.
Maybe an appraisal, but everything else is. Is that a real thing? Did you just look it up?
Yeah,
SaveYouMoneyBank.com.
1 penny.
Yeah. It's three.
First year, 3-year term.
Yeah.
I thought I made it up, but Nathan
We
finds it
could
immediately.
start a scam.
I'm not starting a scam, and that is not my website, and I don't know how to run a website. So, okay. Next up, deed theft. This is the one that had me questioning this whole time. People kept talking to me about deed theft. That serves me right for trying to come up with something on my own. I can never be original.
No, that's original. Nobody's used it. It's available today.
All right, so deed theft. This one is really interesting, and this one you're gonna have to help me with probably a little bit more. How does somebody get tricked into signing over their deed?
So I can see it. Hey, we modified your loan. Here's how much money you're saving. Just sign these documents. And they send them a packet, and in the packet there's a deed.
Oh gosh.
And that they don't care about all the rest of that stuff. They just want to get you to sign that one piece of paper and have it notarized. And then if you
Because
just
a lot of us really don't pay attention to what we're
zip through
signing.
paperwork. Yeah.
Oh, it is so scary. So scary, so scary.
Yep.
So this is, again, if you're contemplating anything in which you would modify your current mortgage, you want to ask a million questions, read all the fine print, make sure you're working with a reputable company. I still think it's such a great idea to make sure you are going back. I mean, if they are presenting that they're working with your current company, call your current company directly at their line. If it's a different company, my daughter, she's like, Mom, you need to do some Google reviews on that before you jump in. Even my daughter is a little less trusting than me. So make sure that they're a real company. All right. Impersonation scams. I read this one, but now I don't remember what it means.
I mean, I think they're calling Azure Bank.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And so they call and say, hey, we've got some we've got this plan. If you'll make us your payment, here's where your new payment goes. Or, hey, we reduced your fee to this much money. So I think this is two different ones. One is it is a foreclosure prevention. So if you're desperate in losing your house, then somebody might call you and say, hey, I'm with your bank. You haven't made your payment. Can we help you? Yeah, you can help me. Well, according to our deal, you're a few months behind. Can you give some, you explain your situation, and then they say, hey, we can help you. Just reduce your payment to $600 a month instead of $1,200 a month, and pay it to this payment to whatever bank of guild. See what I'm saying? They could just change
that
it.
one's real.
They could change it just like fraud department, not fraud. They could do foreclosure
Right.
department, or they could name it something. I'm not as creative as you are, but they could name it Save My House at guildmortgage.com.
Right. So that it looks like it's really from my
And
mortgage
then
company.
mail those payments to this department at this address, and we'll for 12 months, that saves you your deal. Well, and then you call them the next month and say, hey, you're going to get stuff from your lender. Don't worry about it because we're already taking care of it. It's just they're behind on their paperwork. And then 3 months of that, you're in big trouble because you've mailed your payment to the wrong people.
And it's horrible because the whole time the process is still happening for the foreclosure.
Yep.
So where if you had been dealing directly with your true bank, golly, you might have been able to save yourself that. And instead you end up really going through the foreclosure process and losing your property.
Yep.
I just thought of a note I needed to make. And
So-
so I have to make it right now.
Yeah. Other mortgage scams.
What else is there? Advertising low interest rates that are not really available. Okay, so let's
So
talk
we
about
see
this.
this.
Well,
This is crazy.
and this is where I have to be really careful not to throw out a real name. Online companies are really tough on some of our buyers and our sellers. Oh, did I accidentally throw out a real name?
No.
Because here's the thing. So we've got a buyer right now, and they called last night and they said, Kendra, I'm so upset. My lender, and it's a great stinking lender that they ended up going with, and they do a good job of doing everything up front. There are no surprises at the end because they've done everything at the very beginning. And lender says, you're still on this particular loan with your ex-husband. And if you don't get this paid off or get off this loan, you can't complete your mortgage loan. Had she continued with the company that she was working with to begin with, I don't think they would have found it until later. And I keep thinking, like, I look at her stuff from the current mortgage company versus what the other one had sent, and they were promising her like a really low interest rate, like 6s. They could not deliver that. There is no way they can deliver that. And if they did, it would be like astronomical closing costs because they have to get the money somewhere.
Right.
And I just hate and worry for our buyers because if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. But when you're so excited, you forget. And it's the same thing with the foreclosures once you already own your home as it is when you're shopping for your home, right?
Yes.
Man, it just makes me sick.
Yeah, because I think there are some of them that are this like these 2-1 buy downs and these negotiation pieces were like, hey, we'll get you in this house for 4% for the first year, 5% for the second, 6% for the third.
Right.
But then they don't tell you that it's, I mean, in California, they have reverse interest loans because the appreciation of houses is so high. So you could probably still get a 4% interest mortgage. They're just taking the other 3% and putting it on the back end of the note.
Okay.
So you're not making any headway. Your principal is going up as you live there. They're gambling on 10, 12, 14% appreciation.
Right.
So those are legitimate scams.
Legitimate scams.
I mean, I think it's a
it
horrible
would be
place.
a scam here.
It would be,
100%,
yes.
because Woodward doesn't appreciate 14%.
No.
I mean, we're almost the same as what we were in 2015.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
So, man, definitely would be a scam here. If we get that other places that might work, here it doesn't work.
So, yeah.
But it goes back to just, I mean, really, here's the thing. If you're looking at this and if you have these opportunities coming into your mailbox and you're not sure, come sit down with Brian. Notice I didn't say me. My brain doesn't work like this. But they need to sit down with somebody who can really look through everything and go, I'm afraid this one isn't real. This one might be real. This looks like a good idea, but what about this? Like, run it past someone who has some knowledge and has some experience just to double check you, right?
Yes.
Don't you think?
Absolutely. I think, yeah, because I think there's a few quick phone calls can help us determine whether we're dealing with something that's legit or even a little bit shady, and then that can lead to more phone calls. But
yes, very much so. All right. Fake lawsuits and forensic audit scams. Now, if somebody called and said, I'm doing a forensic audit on your audit, I can't even say audit, on your file, well, that would just put the fear in me. I don't even know what it means, and it would make me nervous. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Like, oh, yucky. So this is what happens. So a company will call, and they'll say that they're doing a forensic audit on your mortgage. They're going to make sure that the bank did everything right. So then, are you paying them? Is that how they're taking advantage of you?
No, I think they're probably going to end up sending you some type of a modification. Like, oh, they didn't really do this correctly. There's some errors in your mortgage. Please sign this modification.
This is crazy. It says the lawsuits are fake. So they're promising to sue the greedy banks on behalf of the homeowner. Man,
Yeah.
taking all this time and money. That's
Yep.
crazy.
Yep.
This is blowing my mind.
That's crazy.
I read all this earlier, but just now whenever I read it again, it felt a little different. All right, so this is the forensic audit scam.
So they audit the bank, say there was something wrong with the bank. They were dishonest. So we're going to sue them. You even be part of this lawsuit, class action type deal probably. And then so we're going to hold your money maybe. They may say, hey, you pay us your money. We're going to hold it as leverage for the mortgage company, or pay us so much a month, to be part of the lawsuit. It's going to be this much money. Or, I mean, there's going to be, I can see lots of these. Or, hey, let's go ahead and get you out of that mortgage because it's frivolous, and let's get you into this different mortgage. And then they sign you up for something that's just crazy. Yep.
So how does somebody, I mean, I'm saying pay attention, read all this kind of stuff, but how do you really make sure that you avoid these things?
Call the company you closed at. Call your real estate agent. Call your bank. Like, there's 3 people right there, especially if you're in Woodward
Yes.
or a small community. Guarantee you, Ashley at First Republic Title or Jackie at Woodward County Abstract, they're definitely going to, if you closed at one of those 2 places, they're going to walk you
Right.
back through, here's where your mortgage is, here's where it's at the court. I mean, it's all filed, it's all right. So, and then your other one is your bank. Hey, I bought my mortgage. I got my mortgage through you. These people called. Is this real? Is this legit? Again, that's why you also use a local reputable a lender. So you don't use, Frontier Mortgage out of, Wasalla, Washington.
Okay, so that I know I've said this before, but do you remember whenever interest rates went so low, like they were down in the 2s, and you were really hounding me, just go refinance, Kendra. I was like at 4 something, and I could get a 2 something, and I was like, I hate the paperwork because I'm just like our buyers. And the next morning, Susie Wheelock texted, and she said, I looked at your paperwork from your last loan. Get in here; it'll save you $100 a month. Now my mortgage is tiny, but $100 a month is huge to me. But because she's local, because she knew me, because she paid attention, she was able to say, no, really, Kendra,
It's real.
it's real. Let's get in and get this done. And then they made it easy for me to boot.
Yeah.
So just having a local lender is so valuable.
Valuable.
So
Yep.
valuable.
So again, you got resources, your banker, your title company where you closed out, and your real estate guy. Lady
Okay,
person.
so do you notice who is being targeted?
Yeah, people in trouble.
People in trouble. So often elderly.
Yep.
And I don't want to like say negative things, but it seems like it's easier to confuse my grandmother than it is to confuse my mother, right?
I mean, I think it's true
I mean, it seems like it, unfortunately,
because there's so much information.
and it's all changed from when
It
they
wouldn't
began.
be hard to.
Right. And then people who are in trouble because you're already stressed out. It's already hard to pay attention, and there's already so much coming at you, and you're just grasping at straws.
Yeah.
Sometimes, some of us. So I hate that.
Yeah. It's a sick world.
It is a sick world. Also, you should be putting your purse under your seat in the pickup. And you're not supposed to leave your keys in it.
Okay. Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Check.
All right. Got it. All right. So what else? Did I miss anything?
That's really the main. So it's funny I had a customer send me a pre-filled out contract that somebody's offering them on their property.
Yeah.
So it's like, we're giving you this much. We'll close by this date. Here's the people buying you. It's a cash transaction. It's as is. They've sent them a contract to purchase their property. It has it's like, it was a quick close even. It's like, we'll close by November 20th. It was like a 30-day thing. We'll close by November 20th. But then in the writing down at the bottom, it shows they've got a 30-day inspection period.
So they can get right up to the end and then
right
back
at the end
out.
and back out. And so, but they're sending this out to the whole neighborhood. Like, hey, we're targeting this whole neighborhood. We're going to try to buy all these houses. So let's say this neighborhood of houses is worth, for easy numbers, $100 a square foot. They're offering $80 a square foot for everything in the neighborhood. Maybe in Oklahoma City, 250 houses. So they send this offer out to 250 houses. 10 of them say, yes, I'll do it. And they call, they sign the contract, or they don't. Or one person signs a contract. They could make, on a $300,000 house at 20, that's $60,000 they could make. So it's worth, and it's also getting the phone calls to, it's not
Right.
a legitimate scam. Like, I think there is a little bit of legitimacy to it. Instead of calling all those people, they just tell them, here's what we're willing to offer you. If you're willing to sell, we're willing to buy. And then it starts the phone conversations. But the scam part of that is, you sign the contract, you really haven't signed nothing. The seller has all of the control of that contract because the inspection period goes clear to the closing date. They can back out at the closing table for any reason. So if you get any of those in the mail, do not hesitate to call us. We'll review it for you and make sure. And then obviously we're not attorneys. We'll review it and we'll say, hey, we think it's a scam, or you should, hey, this is legitimate and it's probably a good deal. You need to call your attorney.
Right.
So yeah, I think all those that is a crazy marketing move.
Is that similar to the like we've all received? I say we all. I've received. I bet you have too. The text from who knows who that says something about we heard you wanted to sell your house. We'd be interested in buying it. Is it the same thing? You know what I'm talking about? I
Yeah.
can't remember the exact wording.
Yes. We got a voicemail the other day.
Yeah.
Here at
So
the
what's
office.
that? Is that legit or is that fake?
I think it's somebody's just doing a massive phone call to everybody, and they're leaving a message because it went straight to voicemail. Left a message on a property that expired. It's weird now that I'm thinking about it. How did they know that? But hey, are you interested in selling this property? We're interested, and so I think it's just to get the phones ringing. It's just a marketing ploy most of the time, but there is the potential for scam because it's not the way we do business.
Right.
So and it just a little bit of misinformation and you're done.
I feel like the Oklahoma real estate contract is very much. I feel like it is really to the benefit of the buyer.
Yes.
In the respect of allows for contingencies to be released without any kind of negative circumstance. But I feel like it also still keeps it in some parameters that keeps the seller healthy.
Yes. Because it gives you the potential. I mean, it gives you the outs and the safety but it's a protection for this buyer. But then just for like 2 weeks, and then after that, it's
Right.
It's all seller
Right.
protection.
It all comes back to local and all comes back to paying attention and having somebody that you trust be alongside with you in the process.
Yep.
I'm thinking about the contract that we looked at last night, and the contingency required that that the buyer didn't do their inspections until much later in the contract.
Yes.
And you must have been visiting with the seller, and the seller said, "Nah, I want the inspections done immediately," and so it just really helps to have somebody on your side that you know that you trust. It all goes back to loyal.
Yes. Yeah.
Local.
Yep. Local. Have somebody in your corner.
Local. Yep. So there you go. Some practical tips and valuable insights for real estate.
Yeah. So go, if you're looking for houses in the Northwest Oklahoma area, don't hesitate to come to our website in northwestokhomes.com. Check that out. We can put a search on there and narrow down kind of what you're looking for, keep you up to date on the market. If you want to come hang out and talk real estate or, whatever you want to talk about, we have good coffee. Come hang out. We have bubbles. So
Yeah,
come by the
bubbles.
office. We're at 2411 Williams Avenue. We're on the south end of the building. So come check us out there.
All right. That sounds great. Then we'll be back next week.
All right. I'm Brian Cook, 580-334-2303.
And I'm Kendra Brown, 580-216-0090. We'll see you next time. Hey, it's the Brian and Kendra Show.